IBC channels are open. That is the first step completed for Terra Luna Classic. However, there is still some more work to do. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the price action we called on the live stream, because it could be pretty interesting, as well as some new proposals that you need to be aware of. And is Terra Station ceasing to exist? You're going to want to watch this video to the end. Let's get into some market information. So here we go. 854.07 billion is the current global crypto market cap, just down 0.5% on the day. You can see quite a lot of the top coins here having a red 24 hours as we move further down the list, albeit pretty strong on the week. On that 7-day performance, you can see most of them in the green. As we start to move down the list, you can see a couple of them. Uniswap, we called this on the live stream, 17% up, as well as a number of others really starting to move in the market. Now, again, it's going to be an interesting week as we go through this in terms of what are we going to see, a pump, or are we going to see a market cooling? We'll have to kind of wait and see what happens. But look at this, Crow coin, 5%, absolutely insane. When we get down to Terra Luna Classic, we can see currently priced in at 1746 with a $1.043 billion market cap. Now, we do absolutely want to see that starting to move up to a 2, 3, 4, maybe even $6 billion market cap as we remove supply and increase burns. And everything we're doing about the upgrade to the IBC and to open up new dApps is all about removing that supply and building utility on the platform. $86 million is the volume, up 11.19% as people certainly start to look and buy back into the hype coming with Terra Luna Classic. Now, looking at the daily chart, we did draw this on the live stream. We're following this 50-day EMA. This is the yellow EMA line here as we kind of move sideways. Now, we're probably 2 or 3 days away from really starting to see some Luna Classic. But if we saw a green candle mint here, potentially another green candle here, and this EMA trends down, we could be looking towards the back end of this week to start to see a real move to the upside for Terra Luna Classic. Now, we'll keep you up to date with that, but the market looking pretty green on here on the technicals, but we'll have to kind of see, fingers crossed we see some movement. But with all that being said, we want to get into the nitty-gritty of exactly what is going on. And if you are enjoying this content and you do want to stay up to date with Terra Luna Classic, then be sure to subscribe to the channel where we talk about it every single day. Leave a like on this video, and all nodes, they're already at version 1.0.4. This is the new upgrade in which all our current validators need to move to in terms of supporting that IBC reopening. Now, remember, the IBC reopening is for 4 parts now. Juno, Osmosis, Crescent, and Axler. That's just taking a little bit longer, but it ultimately opens up the doors to more decentralized applications. More importantly, it does open up to volume. Now, we haven't seen the price respect that, but like we said, not everything is open just yet. We've still got a little bit of work to do. You can see here the client unfreeze for Osmosis. Now, if you cast your minds back to why it was all frozen in the first place, this was an attempt by TFL to stop the collapse of Terra Luna Classic. Everything was put on hold, everything was disabled. They pulled the, metaphoric plug off the blockchain and halted everything. And slowly over the time, we've been reopening some of these things, albeit with a real sense of security attached to it, and equally some real purpose. Now, you can see the client unfreeze on 11.018. It says, through accepting this proposal, the Tendermint client 12 in Terra Classic referencing Osmosis is going to be subject to cessation using active Tendermint client 164. This is necessary to reactivate IBC connection between Terra Classic and Osmosis. This proposal is a follow-up to the accepted on-chain proposal 10950. For details, follow that. And I've done that in a previous video. I'll link that down in the description so you can go and check it out. But ultimately, what is the Tendermint 164? And more importantly, the Tendermint client 12? Well, they act as security validation points. They make sure that the blockchains and the interactions are as safe as they can be for both the Osmosis chain and Terra Luna Classic. Now, currently over 260 applications are supporting the Tendermint security system, and it works by sending data between the two chains to make sure that everything is valid and it's not going elsewhere. And this is the important part as we open and unlock things. And I know people out there in the community are desperate to see the price move. They're desperate for things to happen incredibly quickly. But there's 2 points to this. One, this is a decentralized governance where we vote on what we want. Our validators that maintain the blockchain vote on what we think is the best thing. thing, and ultimately we have to make sure that it's correct. What we cannot afford to do is destroy trust in Lunar Classic. So these things are incredibly important that we work through them effectively, and when they launch, then they launch seamlessly. And we saw that with staking when that was re-enabled. We saw that with the new validators coming online. Everything worked seamlessly. It builds trust in the network. It builds confidence back from investors, and that is exactly what we need. Interestingly, already 9 validators currently voted yes. You can see the list of them here. So Lunatics being the highest at 0.82 with the development fund, and a few others as we go down the list, all voting yes. And this is moving quite quickly, in fairness. This is moving quite quickly. You see 100% have voted to re-enable this. And why wouldn't we? It totally makes sense in my view. Now, before we get into the next part, this is important to think about. Terra Station is still a Terraform Labs piece of infrastructure. Now, we know Rebel Station, again, I covered that in a previous video, is already built, and we are seeing that now. The question here is, will we all move across there? And there's a current proposal put across that I wanted to bring to your attention. It says the Rebel Station Chrome extension and website are fully hosted by Terra Rebels, but still rely on significant parts of TSL's backend assessing infrastructure. We therefore propose that we must urgently perform work to separate Rebel Station website and Chrome extension from TFL. This work has the following components, which talks about what they are there. You can see there: testing and deployment, remove TFL proprietary private APIs, refactor the Rebel Station front end to reference, and the provision of backend infrastructure and assets on TR. It's about $150,000, and it will take about 2 months to come through. And I actually kind of like the fact that we're given a cost price in terms of what that's going to look like. Obviously, we do have that community pool, or equally, is there some more funding that we can put towards this? And you know, that's the reality of, if we come over here, that is the reality of this community pool. And equally, I know people don't like talking about this $4.16 million, but this is what we need it for. It builds applications alongside the continuation of the burns and deflating the circulating supply, and they're the important bits that we have. So this one obviously will come into effect pretty soon. It says we see these activities as critical to maintaining the wallet and find access to the light of TFL's planned replacement of Terra Station with interchain station. So TFL are going to force our hands a little bit of that, and ultimately we completely then decouple from them and continue to build with Terra Lunar Classic. So some pretty big updates come in. There is going to be some things coming thick and fast and quick at us from updates both from from Terra Rebels, and also both on-chain improvements with IBCs and a number of other things. So if you want to stay up to date with everything going on with Terra Lunar Classic, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button so you stay up to date. Turn the notification bell on so you know when we go live, and come and jump in. Let's get some live chat action, talk about price and everything else, and I'll see you guys in the next video.